Hi, I'm Pete Andresen with Andresen and Associates, and this week I'd like to discuss fear mongering. It's a big deal right now. Basically, as I've said it a week ago, and I'm going to say it in the future until something happens, the odds of a recession are elevated. I'll go into that uh, on later videos. And a stock market decline may or may not happen. I'll go into that. So we're in a high risk place. And right now, people are uncertain, and they should be, because there's a lot of uncertainty out there. And into that gap rides the contingent of fear mongers, as they always do. Basically, fear mongers are people who spread fear. And there's a couple of reasons. There's a psychological reason. We all love a good thrill. We all have a bias towards confirmation. In other words, we want our what we already think to be confirmed. We don't want to encounter, most of the time, most people don't want to encounter new information. We we want to, in fact, have our own perceptions confirmed, which means that so much of what we think is happening is actually just recycled from our own heads. And of course, people, all of us, including me, we're always afraid of something. So the professional fearmongers make a living. In fact, they're in the media. They sell more soap, they sell more newspapers, they sell more airtime if they can make extreme comments. And the thing about making an extreme comment is very rarely does somebody call you on it. Very rarely does somebody say in 5 years, hey, you were sure wrong about that. In fact, one of our media hosts just lost his job yesterday, and he seems to have been making extreme comments in both directions, depending upon who he was talking to. But that's pretty normal. Basically, being an outlandish personality sells and makes these people millions, whereas maintaining a moderate, more realistic approach usually doesn't. So we recently had a media personality who makes millions say that the United States economy is going to resemble that of Venezuela, which is, boy, what a great talking point. Too bad reality doesn't back it up. So there's a minuscule chance that may happen if a meteor hits the Earth, but by and large, history doesn't support that kind of garbage, if I could be so explicit, um, at all. The other reason they sell this stuff is that there's a fear trade. They can sell you annuities, they can sell you cryptocurrencies, they can sell you precious metals if you're terrified. The reality is that just running a modest, diversified portfolio, dialing back a bit when people get too excited, and buying when things are cheaper tends to produce historically much better results than doing big swing trades based on what you think might happen. I would add that my clients usually call me and ask for radical behaviors when their party of choice politically is not in power. They tend to believe that the president of the moment, the president du jour, will ruin the country, and that's when I get the call to liquidate or do something radical. The other thing I would say is that in my experience, uh, these people make millions printing books. This is one that hasn't come true yet. I'm confident that this media personality will turn around and write the exact opposite opinion in 5 years, like this guy did. Uh, when things were going well, he wrote this. Other times he writes about the great doom ahead. So the point is, there's a lot of money to be made here. And what we need to do for long-term investment success is to manage our own minds. We need to not be provoked to action. That's the actions of salespeople. I don't want to provoke you to action. What I want to provoke you to are those virtues I've mentioned so many times, the long-term classic virtues of patience, time, discipline, consistency, courage, ethics, and grace. Those work. They work really well. So Watch out for the fear mongers and enjoy spring and blessings.